Hello and welcome to a special episode in a little time. Still gonna call it 186. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the man who wants to kill chaos, Joel Young.
What's good, Obed? No little time. Good to be with you all. Pleasure to be with you again, my friend. How are you doing?
Good man, gotta put that meme out there, man.
Yeah,
So
good
it's the
one. It's a good one.
meme of the year, meme of E3.
That is true.
Yeah, doing good, doing good. We're going to, I guess, skip some of the usual stuff. We will jump right into the E3 goodness. We're not going to give you guys a recap of Bad Batch and Loki, although I really want to talk about Loki, but we'll talk about it next
Yeah, I
week.
really want to get into Loki, and
Yep.
I don't. Please don't jump off jump off here saying, "Oh, there's no Loki stuff." I don't want to listen. Trust me, guys. We're gonna have a great show for you all today, and next week's gonna be a lot of Loki and a lot of Star Wars
Yep.
because we're gonna have to recap two episodes.
Yeah. So you get a twofer next week.
Yeah.
Joel, how are you, man?
Doing well. I've been, super been busy, but we've had a little bit of time off recently, so I took advantage of that to get into some more gaming recently. Still playing Assassin's Creed. Decided to jump into the DLC, The Wrath of the Druids, which pleasantly surprised. It's a nice expansion. Story is quite nice. The environment's nice. You go over to Dublin instead, so you have a little bit of a cultural difference. So it's still nice to kind of carry on with the goodness of Valhalla, and we'll get into that in a little bit here. But essentially, they did announce that they're continuing support for it and having some updates on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But yeah, man, I recommend it. I know it's not the biggest flashy PS5 game, but I'm enjoying it. It's a good time, and if you're looking for something fun to play on PS5, this is a good one because it's a very long game. On average, I think it's anywhere from 60 to 90 hours for most people. And then plus again, you get this extra expansion if you pick that up with the Wrath of Druids, and so you'll play a significant amount of time on this game.
Cool. Cool. Nice. I did almost kind of like the same thing because I started playing the episode intermission for Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS5. And yeah, okay, so it looks way better. it looks better. You can tell that as someone that spent 117 hours on the original one on PS4, I can tell you it does look significantly better. It runs at 60. That's the big thing. But to me, the big thing is that there's like the textures are definitely improved. That's a really big step up. So in case you guys were wondering, that's like to me the biggest thing. It's good. It's really good. About I think 5 6 hours. I don't know exactly how long it is it because I try to not see exactly how long it is. But it's good. It's good. So I talked about the process about installing it last week, and that was kind of weird. But after everything's done, it runs well. Load times are basically instantaneous. So you still get the little loading thing that comes up for like a second. It's loading, and then it pops up. So that's good. It's not there for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds like on PS4. But I think that's the big difference. You can the textures, the hair looks way better. There was some dithering and whatnot on the hair on the original version. That's being significantly corrected in this one. So yeah, it's basically what I did over the weekend. Didn't went back to Sekiro because I want to finish that first, and then when I go back to Sekiro, finish Sekiro, and then do a playthrough of the main game just to see how it looks, how everything looks. And I'm probably just gonna fly through that. And yeah, that's it's been it. Joel, there was a I did grab something because there's a big sale on the PlayStation Network right now.
Yeah.
I did grab the that Castlevania collection that came out a couple years ago with Rondo Blood and Symphony of the Night. So it's $10. So grabbed it. I'll probably play that over Halloween. So try to play. I don't think I played Symphony of the Night last year. I usually try it. That's like my Halloween game. So I'm
I
probably
do remember
gonna,
that. It's an
yeah,
annual.
yeah. So I'm gonna try and do some Symphony of the Night this year. So yeah, looking forward to that. But Joe, E3 happened. A lot less uneventful than I thought it was gonna be, but at the same time, some really important things happened that I think are of worth. I think by far the showstopper was that Capcom conference. All right, let's get that out of the way.
Let's go for it.
Cause what the hell, bro? So that was Capcom was there because they did not want to lose their spot on E3. Because for a company to be on at E3, excuse me, you have to apply, and once you're in, you're locked in, and you just every year you just renew for your spot. Capcom was there because they didn't want to lose their spot.
They fill space.
honestly, honestly, because
Yeah.
they had nothing new. Um, they they all they showed for Street Fighter was like an esports sizzle reel, which is fine, but that's not E3 stuff. That's not stuff that you show at E3. That's something that you put out in like a community video, right? Something that's more focused to the community and not to E3 because it's like the average consumer is not gonna care about Street Fighter Five esports. So overall, I think by far that was probably the worst one. But what do you think?
Yeah, it felt like one of those things that you would have in an internal like recap meeting or something like an internal marketing memo,
That should have
like,
been an
hey,
email.
right, right. It felt like one of those kind of things like, hey guys, and so we did this and we did this. Like it wasn't progressive in the sense that we expect from E3, right? This is like, an expo where you're supposed to be showing off the next latest and greatest. And even if that means just one thing, give us one thing. There wasn't even one thing on here that really stood out. So that was disappointing. Like we'll get into it later on, but like you're saying, it was generally speaking, the conference wasn't maybe as eventful as some people thought. I think that has to do with some things that seemed extremely obvious. One thing in particular that we'll get to that did not happen, but and I think that definitely put a little bit of a cloud over the convention. But generally speaking, most things were safe and good. This wasn't even safe, like what Capcom did here.
Oh
This
man.
was just like you're saying, let's occupy the stage so that way we can be back next time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they really had anything new just yet. I know that they're working on stuff, but this was like if there was one conference that was a filler conference that was, hey, we need to do this because if not we're going to lose our spot, it's them. Now, what's interesting is that Konami originally signed up because Konami, it's the same thing, right?
Sure.
They actually pulled out of E3, and they're supposedly allegedly working on things again. So I don't know to which extent that's true, but based on rumors, there's a lot of PlayStation stuff that's gonna be coming from Konami, or some sort of collaboration. I guess we'll see whenever that PlayStation event happens. But yeah, I mean, just to get Capcom out of the way because it was I think the least important one uh, out of all the big ones. So yeah, Joel, do you want to talk about that before we jump into like the big conferences? You want to talk about the Intellivision stuff?
Forgive me, you
Because
broke
they
up for a second there.
you want to talk about the Intellivision, the Amigo, the console?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did a full presentation. Um, it is essentially a mini game console of sorts. They do have a compelling product, I think. Not for me. It is quite expensive. It's $249. What they're doing with the controller is pretty cool. Where they're integrating, touchscreen, a disc, sort of joystick, kind of like what the old Intellivision had. Um, I think they had a pretty cool product here. I'm not sure exactly who is it aimed to, because it's like I said, $249. That's the price of a Switch almost. Uh, and you can definitely get a lot more for your money out of a Switch. Uh, that being said, I don't think it's necessarily a bad product. It's just that I don't know who this is for, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they tried to make it very like universally, like marketed universally to everyone. Hey, your kids, your parents, the new people, the old people, like kind of like put in different sectors of the gaming community and bring it together, which is what you're supposed to do when you make a new console. But it's I don't personally think that this is anything that's more than, I hate to say it, like a party console. Like this is the kind of thing that you'd have fun with
Basically,
your
yeah.
friends and all. I don't think you're gonna be like, I can't wait to go home this weekend because I'm just gonna go sit there by myself and go play on my Amico. Like I don't, it doesn't, it's not that kind of
Yeah.
thing, and that's a problem, right? Like so it's a fine family, fun, get your friends party game, try something new. No one knows what it is. Everyone picks it up. It's like, hey, let's have a fun time with something that's a little bit more scarce and not as common in people's homes. But I don't hate it. Like I'm all for innovation. I
Yeah.
just This is not going to set the world on fire, and they know it. So
Yeah, if you ask me, this is better than the Atari thing that just came out. That's supposed to
yeah,
be like
yeah,
$500 or whatever. It's ridiculous.
yes,
I think honestly that's I don't know. It sounds more like a scam to me more than anything, honestly. But at least this is like it's coming from the right place, right? Tommy Tallarico, he bought the television name, and and he wants to do this thing, and that's totally fine. Keep the name alive, and I think they have a compelling product. It's just that it's hard to justify at that price point, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, just wanted to touch base on that before we moved on, because out of all the other conferences, that's the one that other thing that I just wanted to mention. All right, Ubisoft. Okay, so not as strong as I thought they were going to be, but they did show some cool stuff. Of course, the DLC for Valhalla that's coming out, which is set in Paris.
Yep.
That's gonna be a big thing because I think it's gonna be like a big expansion to that game.
That's what I'm saying. This gets already a big game. They keep it growing, and it's a big deal because it's a series first, where you actually have a second year of DLC coming, new DLC coming to an Assassin's Creed game. It hasn't happened before, and I'm excited for it. Like I think this is the way that they should be approaching it for something that performed as well as it has. It's a pretty cheap game right now, and I still recommend people to go pick it up if they're looking for something to play, and then you get some new stuff coming to it. Like I thought I was gonna breeze through this thing and jump right over to the next thing, and it just keeps sucking me back in. So I like that.
Yep, cool. Yeah, I think there's definitely was gonna scratch that itch for AC this year, because you gotta wait until next year for a new iteration of that. So
Which will be probably the next gen version, which is the true
the
next
true
gen.
next gen, yeah, because this is a
That's
stepping stone, yeah,
right. This is
yeah,
this is like this is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This is your
basically, but
pirates game that could see in
correct.
between. But the next one,
Yeah, I think the next one's gonna be the big one. Showed Mario, a new Mario plus
yeah,
Rabbits, Sparks of Hope. That looked good. I don't know if you saw some of the other gameplay that got out there. It looks good. Like it's less RTS kinda versus the original one. The original was like through and through an RTS game. This looks, or a tactics game. This looks a little bit more approachable. If I want to say that, I'm not a big RTS or tactics guy, but this to me looks more approachable. Looks cute. Like, again, this designs that they have for these games are pretty cute and exciting. And it's exciting that Nintendo's letting someone else do uh, something else with the Mario property that they themselves are not doing. I think that's pretty good. That's coming out next year. Um, yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to add,
Yeah,
Joe.
no, it was cute like you said, and it was it's one of those games like that I actually purposely showed a family member of mine because I was with them when it was going down. I was like, hey, like I can watch this thing, like check this out, and it looked like how we were just talking about those kind of party games. Like this is one of those ones that you could have a bunch of people jump in and have a good time, which I love to see. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, well, it looks good. Joel, now are you excited for
Oh, here we go.
Avatar:
Here.
Frontiers of Pandora? Because I know one person that's excited. We know James Cameron is.
James
Uh,
Cameron. Well, here's the thing,
yeah,
right? When they made the first Avatar movie, which there will be more. I say that first, like there's only one Joel, well there's more coming. But when they made the original Avatar movie, I do recall there being discussions around the inspiration of PlayStation tech, like in the technology for the actual movie. Like some of the I know this is kind of like strange at the time, right? Because obviously Cameron's a lover of advancing the technology behind film. Um, what a great marriage of seeing like a technological, invention of a film, right, being now translated into a game using modern technology. It's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. The game itself does not speak to me. I don't think it's bad. It just does not speak to me personally. But
yeah, I agree.
it's like I give them credit for what they're trying to do, and I will still give them more time. And maybe as I see more with it, maybe it'll be something I'd actually want to explore. But I think if this is the timing of it is very obvious, considering that they want to release these in tandem with each of the films as they come out, and every 2 years there'll be one, right? So we've got next Christmas, we've got a new one, then
Yeah.
2024, then 2026. So, yeah, yeah, man.
Why?
So, yeah, a lot of Avatar coming our way.
All right.
Um, we shall see, sir. But I'm not against this game at all. I think it's fine and it makes sense again for them to move into this medium.
Yeah, we didn't get any gameplay. This was more of a concept trailer
Yeah,
more than anything. Um, it looked interesting what they're trying to do, so that I appreciate that, right? And maybe it'll turn out to be a good game. If I'm assuming that they're going full Ubisoft on this thing, and it's going to be like open world and have all this big checkpoints and all this stuff. So uh, I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. Right. That's
yeah,
that to me. That's the big thing.
right. Because right now it doesn't hit me, but that doesn't mean that can change. Like when
Correct.
I actually start to see what it has become from concept to product.
Yep. Showed more Far Cry 6. Y'all, you're looking forward to Just Dance 2022.
Oh my gosh, dude! Every time those come on, so is this like last time where it's gonna be on the Wii again?
No,
No, no.
this one's not on
Okay.
the Wii. The 2021 was the last one,
Yeah, okay. Because when I can't get over that, man. That
or
that
was
we
it
actually had
2020?
a
I
new
don't know.
Just Dance for the Wii. Like the thought of that.
I know.
Who
That's how big that thing was in the Wii, man. Because they had started on the Wii.
it did, it did. I,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yep. So it's pretty interesting. Um, the other one that they show a little bit more of is Rainbow Six Extraction. Of course, they changed the name. I don't know if you remember what the original name for this game was, Joe.
No, man.
It was Rainbow Six Quarantine.
Oh, yeah.
So they changed the name for obvious reasons. And yeah, that's coming out September 16th, and it's a Zambambo version of Rainbow Six. So
It's
yeah,
cool.
it's yeah, that to me is interesting. So yeah, it's TJ in the chat saying that he's actually very excited for the Avatar game. Hopefully they do a good job with it. Me too, man. I mean, it could be good. Uh, I think Avatar as a movie was very video gamey. So
Right.
trying to translate that into a video game, it just makes perfect sense. Um, and I think Ubisoft is a quality developer. I'm pretty
They're good.
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna do a pretty good job at translating this thing. And I'm assuming that James Cameron is like collaborating, or at least doing some quality control on it too. So
Yeah, he's
yeah,
not going to let it be a disaster. I don't think that's going to
correct.
be the case. And I don't think this is going to be a bad game by any means. And I like, TJ, I like your optimistic approach because you should be optimistic about it. We don't really know much about it. We just got a teaser that it's coming, and I think we should be giving it a good chance because
Yeah,
it's something that's good for there. And like Ubisoft are like these people are the kings of open world games. Like they know how to make those kinds of games pretty well between their Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed. So imagine the scope and the scale that they can bring to the world of Pandora. Could be good.
yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, Jill, we want to talk about Xbox
Yes.
because Xbox is
Oh,
pissed. They came in and it's like, we're pissed and we're gonna give you the stuff.
they came big. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I appreciate it.
Yep,
You
I
know,
appreciate it.
they were very that this is what they needed 4 years ago. This is what they needed back in 2017 when they were they were like that kid in Halloween that the bullies come in and just grab the kid's candy out of the little pumpkin, and that was the bully was PlayStation. So that was basically what was going on. I appreciate it. I appreciate them coming out and being very aggressive. Very interesting to see the, I guess, shift in messaging, because Sony is like, we believe in generations and we're gonna do this thing, and Xbox is like, no one's gonna left behind, and now Xbox is leaving people behind, and Sony is like, but we're gonna give you God of War on PS4. Very interesting to see the shift in messaging. I think overall, this probably was the best Xbox E3. Uh, wow. I
It's been a long
It's
time,
been a
DJ.
while, probably since like God of War, like not God of War, like Gears of War 3, back in the
Yeah,
360. That was
yeah.
probably the last one that was like, damn, this is good. But this was good stuff.
Start to finish.
Yep, very very good stuff. Of course, we're gonna talk about Starfield. Not a lot to talk about, but the game is Xbox exclusive. Of course, it's coming out on PC. November 11th, 2022 is the tentative date. That could potentially be a summer's 2023. Knowing Bethesda, we'll see. But yeah, they were aggressive. This is the new IP that Bethesda's been teasing for a very long time, and Xbox is the the console for it. Now that Bethesda's part of the Microsoft family, so
Yeah, that's the thing. It was very Microsoft, Bethesda, very like hand in hand type of thing. They didn't make it like, hey, this is one of our sub properties. They gave to Bethesda in the past would always have their own platform, so they kind of shared the stage very well together with time on their products. But yes, this game specifically right here that you're talking about, Starfield. Like if you are an Xbox owner, a next gen Xbox owner, this is something you have to have on your list of games that you're looking forward to getting. This is why you got into next gen games like this on your Xbox. I think Starfield will sell well, assuming that it has good reviews as time goes on. But it does look like one of those ones that you got to put the flag down, say this is why I got my Xbox. I'm
correct.
playing Starfield on next generation Xbox.
You finally have something to be proud of. So
You should be
you
proud
should
of it.
wave that flag. Yeah.
You should wave the
Yep.
flag of Starfield.
Yep.
If you don't know what Starfield is, look it up now because this is your game.
Yep. Yep. Good. Good. Like I finally right. This is one of those things. Is like finally Xbox is getting something, and they're alive, and they've been poked.
Yeah.
And they this is the I think the proper response. This is the response that they should have had, since Phil Spencer came on board. I think it was very aggressive and very good. So, Stalker 2, it looks good. It doesn't really talk to me. That's not my cup of tea, but it still looked pretty impressive. What they showed gameplay wise. Back for Blood is an Xbox console exclusive. This one to me was surprising, Joel, because this was the only game that Warner showed up. That's why I didn't have Warner in the docket because this is the
Right.
only thing they talked about. And then the game is coming to Xbox and PC. So I think to me that's a big get. It reminded me again with the it being a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead being a console exclusive to Xbox by when it came out. I think it makes perfect sense. So I think this is a big get because Left 4 Dead was very very popular. So I think this game is gonna do pretty good. Um, Another big surprise was the Sea of Thieves expansion with Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Yes. No,
Yeah,
I like that. That was fun. I like that Johnny Depp's Captain Jack is still he's still out there, and I think like a lot of Sea of Thieves, fans are gonna be happy to get Captain Jack joining on
yeah.
because I mean it's a great
It's
match.
a free expansion. That
Exactly.
to me, bro. Honestly, Rare should have tried, or Microsoft, slash Rare, they should have tried and secured this license for at the beginning of Sea of Thieves, and Sea of Thieves would have done much better, in my opinion,
Yeah. Yeah.
if this would have been
Yeah.
a licensed game.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't know how well Sea of Thieves has moved. Like, I don't know how well
it's
it's done. I
it's
know
come
I
a
know
long
some
way.
yeah, I know
Yeah,
there's a lot of the Xbox guys. This is one of their staples, because this is what they've had.
I
But
think
I'm
this
not
was
trying to take
the.
a shot. I'm not
I
trying to take
think
a shot, but this is what
honestly,
they had, man.
honestly, I think Sea of Thieves was the last good exclusive from
I
last
know.
gen, because Crackdown 3, we all know what happened to that.
Well,
And Sea of Thieves, had a rough start, but within like 90 days, it was, you know, up and running and in very good shape.
yeah.
Um, and actually, the user base for the game grew, the following like 6 months after the game launched. So,
Yeah, I think as time
yeah,
goes on, it's like aged well.
I think so. Yeah. 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 And I think the aesthetic and the art design just really plays really well with the Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah.
theme.
It's
So,
a great match.
yeah, I think this was good. Good. I would give it to them. This is like, this was pretty good. It's pretty good. We got some Battlefield 2042 gameplay. Yeah, like I said last week when we talked about the trailer, this looks sick.
Yeah.
Looks really really good. So again, I'm not a crazy first person shooter guy, but I would give this a chance because it looked impressive. Looked very good.
Yeah,
And I
futuristic first-person shooter does not sound like your typical. And that's not anything offensive to people who like Call of Duty and but like it just doesn't sound like your typical experience. Like there's something new that they're bringing to it with this futuristic take.
Yeah, yeah, it looks good. So solid game. Of course, this is gonna be a multi-platform game. It's just that the gameplay
Right,
revealed happened to be in the during the
Microsoft
Xbox
show.
conference. Psychonauts 2. Just want to talk about it real quick because this was supposed to come out for everything, but now it's an Xbox exclusive since Xbox or Microsoft acquired Double Fine Studios. So look good. They do need a mascot game because Ratchet and Clank's killing it.
Oh my
Like they
goodness.
are killing it really, really good. So they this is a good game that I think the Xbox needs because they don't have remember last year or last time during the last generation they had Lucky, the Super Lucky's Tale.
Yep.
So that really didn't go anywhere. Um, I played some of that Super Lucky Tale with my daughter, and she liked it good enough. I thought it was fine. It was a good little game, but it wasn't like a showstopper. It wasn't. It's not Ratchet and Clank, and that was the thing, right? So now I think with Psychonauts 2, that's their opportunity to jump into that. I guess space because they don't. They really didn't have anything. They're what you expect? Blinks the cat or something. Bring back it's like Stubbs the zombie. And Stubbs the zombie is getting a re-release on everything. So yeah,
Yeah, this was a nice reveal. Not to change gears, but as you bring a Ratchet and Clank, man, like That is right now PlayStation's exclusive 10 pull, and I'm not a big Ratchet and Clank guy. I don't Not that I don't
Those are
like them,
good.
but it's just nothing that's crazy. But I'm gonna have to pick this one up
Yeah, the last one.
because
That's
the reviews
last one
are
was.
really good.
Yeah, and that last one was really good. The one for PS4. I
Yeah,
really
which was
enjoyed it.
part of the PS Plus collection. Yeah.
Yep, yep. I think they patched it too on
Oh,
five.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
4K 60. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, man, Insomniac, man, they're magicians. They don't. It's like, oh, you need a patch. Poof, here you go. They're not From Software, which we're gonna, not get anything from Bloodborne. We're stuck with 30 frames and no HDR or anything. So, yep. Some Ratchet love over here in the chat from Shelby. Hey.
Yeah, we love Ratchet and Clank, Shelby. Well, I'm growing to love Ratchet and Clank. I think
Oh,
it's not that I didn't like it before, but that was fine. But man, this new one looks great.
yeah, yeah. It's very impressive. It's on my list. It's on my watch list for sure.
Yeah.
Hades is coming out for everything. It was only PC and Switch, so they are going to release it on Xbox. They also announced that it's coming out on PS4. This game looks really good. I want to try this game because I've played all of the other Super Giant games. Oh, you know what? I am lying because I did not try the last one. That was sort of like a fantasy basketball sort of thing that they had. But I really want to try this one for sure. All right, Joel, do you want to talk about Halo Infinite?
Oh yeah. Well, we made some bold statements. And
I was standing
we're
by them.
we're wrong, but are we? Right? So it just to
Yeah.
recap here, like, Obed comes out and he's saying, "Look, I think this game is still not coming out this year. Halo Infinite will not be coming out in 2021." Obviously, we all know that was one of the biggest blunders for the launch of Xbox Series S and X. Was them not having Halo be a part of that launch lineup as they initially had planned. So, they need to come back this year and bring it with Halo Infinite. Bring it back and say we've got the work done, but we have not heard much about the project in a long time, and with how it looked from the last thing that we had on our minds, the last images that were scarring, gamers with seeing these terrible terrible rendered effects, and it was bad. I mean, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, look it up. It was rough.
Yeah.
And then of course the announcement comes out. Game's been delayed. So looking at it now, like, okay, at least now we have something to look at. We had some gameplay to see. We got to see that it's been cleaned up for sure. That they're in a
Yeah.
better place with it, and I can acknowledge that. Now, with all that being said, I'm with you of the mindset that they only said holiday, right? 2021.
Yep.
So you and I think, are in the similar path that we'll believe it when we see it, kind of thing. Like, holiday 2021 could be like December to 30, New Year's Eve, bro. They're trying to, like, it's still
Yeah.
coming out in 2021. I don't
Three
know,
Kings Day is still the
right?
holidays.
It's still
January
like,
6th.
right. Oh my gosh. So, like, I don't know, and I'm not saying that, that they're not going to be honest. I'm not trying to poke fun at that, but
Yep.
I just feel like they are rushing against the clock purely to save face. But if there are bigger problems, they will have no choice but to say, let's wait. I mean, games games that have been of this magnitude that didn't even have the kind of problems that we visually got a year ago. I mean, we can name a few of them, right? Have been delayed for less reasons than this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, they can't afford to have this game launch and it be a disaster. Like, they
Yeah.
cannot afford this game to be cyberpunk or something. And I'm not saying it's going to be that, but they can't afford this thing to be a PR nightmare for them. This is a big staple.
Yeah.
Halo has to be treated with respect. And
Yep.
if it is delayed, let it be for the best of everyone. I think they did a great job on their show. You should be happy you got to see, at E3, Microsoft did a great job of really showing the future and what they're working on. So I trust that what they're doing right now, they really are trying to appeal to the base in a good way.
Yeah. Um, we only so here's how I know that this game was like in real trouble, man. Like real trouble. We did not get any single player gameplay. We only got a cutscene. This game is in real trouble, dude. This game's coming out this year. You're not gonna show me gameplay for the campaign. This game was in rough shape. That being said, I think that the multiplayer is going to launch this holiday. Like sometime
Like released in
before
parts, you think?
they're going to, because the multiplayer is free to play. The multiplayer is gonna come out this year, but the campaign is gonna come out next year.
So how's it gonna work with buying the disc? Are you gonna buy the disc and load up your multiplayer, and then it's gonna be a download of the campaign later on? Like,
No,
what's
because
gonna happen?
the multiplayer is it's piecemeal. It's free to play. It's not, they can put the multiplayer separate. You could download it separate for free,
Huh.
right? And play for free Halo multiplayer, and the next year they come out with a campaign. Now the problem with that is that although a lot of people play Halo for the story, most people play Halo for the multiplayer.
That is true.
So
Sales take a hit.
sales are going to take a hit. They're going to take a hit anyway because it being, again, a free to play multiplayer, it's some people are just going to roll with that. Um, I think this game. I wanna read that book about the development of this game.
Yeah, there's gonna be a
'Cause
story behind this, man. They could
there's
make like
gotta be.
documentaries or something because this is
Like everyone
incredible.
quit, like the art designer quit and the director quit. Like everyone left, and this thing was probably in like very rough shape, man. Looking at the brute again, because I actually stumbled upon a picture on Twitter. Looking at it now, yeah, it looks bad, right? But it's not egregious. It's like, oh, there's a brute. It's like, it's fine, whatever. It's a throwaway. It's a throwaway, baddie. But I think that there was more than that. There was more than just the graphics. There was definitely something going on. So we'll find out. Well, we'll see if I'm right or wrong. I mean, I'm standing by. I'm standing by that the campaign is gonna get delayed,
Hmm.
but the multiplayer is coming out this year.
Revised prediction. It's
Revised
fair.
prediction. Yep. So there's that. um, a remake of Diablo 2 that's coming out. So that's a big deal for our PT fans. Um, Shredders snowboard game. Not much to say there. And I'm skipping. Okay, so here's another big one, Joel. The Outer Worlds 2. And they have the best trailer that I've seen in a very long time. Since like the Kojima trailers. Because it's a trailer that's making fun of, trailers, and it's great. So I think this is a big get. Again, this is a game by Obsidian that's going to be an Xbox exclusive because Microsoft bought Obsidian. So, you know,
It's
they
fair.
it's fair. It's fair, man.
They can do it.
Yep, yep. They can definitely do it. So, we had. You know what? We had our streak with like God of War, Spider Man, and Horizon, and Death Stranding, and all this stuff, right? That I don't. You know what? Good for them that they're finally getting games.
And this only is the best thing to happen for the community, right? Like if you have two well-equipped
Yep.
companies developing solid exclusives, whether that's per acquisition or whatever, like we're only gonna get better content in the long run. So like because of what PlayStation did, I think it's made Xbox better.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Joel. I want to talk about my game of the show, because
Oh,
this was, I think, the best game that was shown at E3 this year, and it's Forza Horizon 5, sir.
Wait, are you serious right now?
I'm totally serious. I am
What?
totally serious. I think this was the best game that was shown at E3 this year.
Wow.
I'm being honest, man.
I mean, I respect you, man.
I'm being honest. This looked really really good. So I was very impressed.
That's again exclusives. Like they
Yeah,
came in with the exclusives. They did what they
telling
needed to
you.
do.
I'm telling you, it's like
Microsoft,
we've been clowned for
kudos.
the last 7 years. We're not gonna take this anymore.
They came.
Basically, yeah. Um, yeah. I think I was gonna leave it for the end, right? Because we usually do like the game of the show at the end. But bro, I'm being brutally honest. This is my game of the show.
All right, let's go pick up our Series X, man. Let's go.
Series S. Oh, also, do you see that the Series S, like in Japan, is supposed to be doing really well?
I believe it.
Like the
That's
Series
a
S, yeah,
yeah. I mean, which is good because again, typically these things haven't sold well overseas,
yeah.
so that's good.
So that's good for them, yeah. And at the end we have a new IP from the guys over at Arcane, Redfall. I mean, we saw the criticism from some people saying it's like, oh yeah, the diverse female cast. I don't care. It look it look okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not
Yeah.
losing any sleep over it. Um, so I think it's an interesting concept, right? The little like, yeah, like post-apocalyptic sort of like vampire thing that they showed. So yeah, I mean, for now it's a concept trailer. Summer 2022 is um, their proposed date for that. I can see it being a fall 2022 game based on Arcane's track record because they that seems to be their thing. They usually delay their games like 3 months at a time. So it's probably gonna be fall next year. So yeah, I think very very strong show from Nintendo. From I'm sorry, from Microsoft. Nintendo had a good one too.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
get
talk
to that
about
one.
it. We'll talk about it. But very very strong. Microsoft's pissed and they're taking no prisoners. It was like, listen, they're like the Winnebago man. They, they don't want any more of that BS.
I
Yeah,
love it though. I love
yeah,
the way they did, especially of all the times to do it. Like Sony was not there.
yep,
Why wait for a challenger to step up?
absolutely.
Come in there and do your thing and bring down the house. And that's what they did. They came in and Microsoft said, take notice, we're here.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like rumors that Sony has their event is gonna have an event what 26th or 28th, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's their own
Yeah,
PlayStation experience. Yep.
so we'll see. Square Enix to my runner-up game of the show, Guardians of the Galaxy, sir. This looked very very good. What do you think?
Yeah, well, this actually was my actual game of the show.
Oh,
That's
there
your
you go.
runner-up. So
Yeah,
we're very much in a similar placement
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, I might as well just say it now instead of waiting for it. No, I loved. I mean, they took a long time. I think like 18 minutes or something of their presentation
It was a
was
15.
just Guardians. The 15 minutes was just
Yeah,
Guardians. I was amazed that they did that. Obviously, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I like their movies and the characters and all that. That's cool. But I like this what we've seen from this game. I'm like, okay, guys, like the like the whole idea of you playing as Star Lord and making decisions as Star Lord. Like, I love that.
and
Do
yeah,
we make Groot get in the box, or do we let Rocket pretend to be like the thing? Or so like all these little decisions. Should you take Rocket and should you let Drax throw Rocket over the thing, or let him stay on this side? Like all these fun decisions and stuff as Star Lord, I thought was just awesome.
yeah,
Looks really cool. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. Marvel in general had a nice nice one, their Avengers update, for with the Black Panther DLC, and then obviously now Square Enix coming in with this full game. I'm like, okay, some people are saying on the line, like, we got a little Marvel gaming universe going on here.
yeah.
We got our Spider-Man, you got your Avengers, and you got now your Guardians coming through.
We did X-Men. No.
Oh yeah.
Man, I was very impressed with, uh, especially with how this game looked, especially how the characters looked. See,
I know.
because here's the thing, right? Um, Avengers it was being made by another team
Yep.
in in Square Enix slash IDOS. Um, but I think the character designs on this look like MCU quality, man. This
I
is
agree.
really good because they you're taking. I think they're doing the right thing, taking from the comics and from the MCU and mixing it up in a. I think it was a very good way because I think if anything, Drax looks a little plain, right? But he does also in the movies. It's just that you don't really notice it that much because of
The
his
guy wearing
lines.
paint.
Because his lines, yeah, is a green guy wearing
One of the most
pants.
simplest. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I think this design of Rocket is solid, dude.
I know the
This
little
Rocket's really
clip-on
good.
beard and
Yep.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
Very good. So, and it is a single player experience. And you can control all the guardians via commands. So you can give them commands. The decision thing that they have going on. So it's like a little like Guardians of the Galaxy cross Mass Effect that they have going on.
Yeah.
I liked it, man. They came out very aggressive. I didn't know about this game. That I didn't know that they were working on this game. Game's coming out October 26th, and um,
Yeah, we get to
yeah,
play it this year, man. Like
yeah,
this announced, and I was like, "Oh, wait a second, is this gonna be early next year or something?" Like, no, we get. I mean, they showed enough to give us confidence that this thing
yeah.
is ready to go. But you know, I did not play the new Avengers. I know that it's had its fair share of criticism. So which is actually the reason why I have not run out to buy it, even on its ridiculously cheap sale. I thought this would have been a nice timing for them to have said, let's just make this thing a free to play game.
I think
But
so too.
you know
Yeah,
that I know that they're still trying to make money, especially with their DLC now with the Black Panther stuff they show. But yeah, like this one, this one I think I have to order. I think this will be one of those when I'm out on my Thanksgiving breaks and stuff like that. Like this is gonna be a game that I'll be spending a significant amount of time on. Guardians of the Galaxy, let's go.
yeah, yeah. Very good stuff. Yeah, we you briefly mentioned the Black Panther expansion to the Avengers. Look good.
Yeah.
I heard that this game. I've heard conflicting things about this game. I heard that the grind is terrible, but the combat is good. But I don't know. And but then the art design is not great. It's conflicting, right? At the end of the day, what they showed here for this Wakanda expansion looks good. So
Yeah.
yeah. Joe, we finally got to see Babylon's Fall again. So this game's supposed to be a PS5 PC exclusive. We haven't seen this game in like 2 years. Or I mean, it was a PS4 game. Now it's a PS5, PS4. Um, and I don't know if you noticed, Joel, but they completely changed the art direction in this game. I don't know. I don't know if you remember
I
the first
do.
trailer. Yeah. So it looked very very different. Um, this looks more of a cross between what Platinum Games did for Nier and what they did with uh, uh, Astral Chain. So it's kind of like mixing the two together. It's like a high quality. It's like a higher quality Astral Chain, basically. So it has some of that like brushstroke thing happening, but it's very high quality. It's an action RPG. You can play single player or you can band up. So I don't know. It looks like the game was refocused. I really know what happened behind the scenes. Uh, I'm asking myself if Platinum Games is okay because we didn't see Bayonetta 3 this year. Although Hideki Kamiya is out there saying, "Yo, shut up! I'm still making the game." You know, I really don't know what's happening, but hopefully, you know, one of these games hits big for Platinum Games. Um, if not, I can see Platinum Games getting acquired by either Square or Sony at this point, or maybe even Nintendo. So, but we'll see how that turns out. The Life is Strange stuff. We've already talked about it because it's basically the same stuff that we saw during was it a PS5 reveal? One of the big reveals
Yeah, it's on one of those
recently.
events. So just a little continuation of them promoting this remastered collection.
Correct. And then we get to the Angry Man game. All right. I'm conflicted, Joel, because I think that the concept behind Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, is something that I really want, right? But I don't know what was Tetsuya Nomura drinking or what he was smoking when he started doing the character design for this game. Because it's not good. It's not good.
No.
It's like Nomura, how can you go? How can you go from the Final Fantasy VII remake to this? Like, I don't know. Anywho, this is the game that was that I mentioned last week that is being developed by Team Ninja over at Koei Tecmo. I'm sorry, and the demo's out there because they released that demo for PS5, right? I don't know if you heard what happened with the demo, Joel.
No.
No? So they put the demo out the night off and it was corrupted. So people were downloading the demo and the
What?
demo was like, "Oh no, this file's corrupted. You cannot play this. Delete."
Oh
And then the next
no.
morning they put out like a new version and it worked. So people could play the demo.
What? I didn't
Uh
know.
yeah, it was busted. So I've seen conflicting things about the game out there. I've seen a couple of playthroughs for the demo. I will be the judge myself. I want to download it. So we'll see. I think the demo's gonna be active until like next week. So we'll see if I actually have time to go around and play it. Um, I don't know how I feel about it. It's like
And you're the guy that this would be the audience that they're trying to target it toward.
correct,
So if you're
correct.
conflicted on it, like
It's
I feel like
because
you
of the
want
art.
to like it,
Yeah,
but you're not quick to get
yeah.
that.
So I don't like the art design. That's what
Yeah.
it is. I don't like the art design. I think that Tecmo's doing the art design, right? And Tetsuya Nomura basically gave him like a rough sketch of what the characters would look like, and they ran with it. That being said, what I saw of people playing the demo, the combat looks excellent.
Yeah, I'm sure the mechanics are fine.
So
I'm
yeah,
sure it's gonna run fine that way. But yeah, visually, if it's not
yeah,
drawing you in, it does put a dent in your experience.
yeah. And this comes out next year, so they have time to fix that.
Yes.
They have time to fix the visuals. Uh, you know, throw in a couple more shaders, and I don't know. I mean, I don't. I'm assuming that they're using whatever engine Koei Tecmo uses for Neo. So they're not using Unreal. They're not using one of the Square Enix proprietary engines. So was it Crystal Tools or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just that it looks ugly. It looks real ugly, and the guy's real angry and he wants to kill Chaos, and it was hilarious. Um, it's good to also Joe. Is time travel and time loops the new zombie?
It's big right
Because
now.
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere,
Yeah,
dude.
man. It's
I
like time
mean,
loops and time travel is the new zombie. It's
I
like
mean, it's you remember? I think you probably saw the story last year that one of those odd stories, true, real stories rather, that scientists are discovering this and in the Antarctic, like whatever this like time reversing parallel universe or whatever. You I don't know if you remember that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's maybe we'll one day experience it. I don't
yeah,
know, dude.
yeah. No, but what I mean is like 10 years ago, every game was a
Everything was
zombie game.
zombies. Yeah,
Yeah, and now every
zombies
game's a time
everywhere.
travel, time loop, interdimension sort of thing. So it's no, and not only games though, like Walking Dead and all this stuff, World War Z and all this
Yeah.
other stuff that was zombie related, right? And now we got time travel in Avengers. Loki is like the mother of all time travel stuff, and time travel in the Justice League, and yeah, it's funny. I was gonna mention it to you. Also, the song "I Need a Hero" is on like every other
Oh
trailer
my
now, dude.
goodness.
It's like I heard it like
Man, Man and Guardians, and then
Yep.
it's Loki. Like,
Loki. Yeah.
I
It's in every. It's like I heard it
start
like
singing
five.
it now. Like, all
Yeah.
right,
It's like I heard it 5 times like in the last, you know, 2 weeks.
it
So
just so happens, right?
yeah, it's funny. Uh, but it's interesting. I hope they fix the art design. I'll try the demo and see how it is. So we'll see. Lastly, but not last, we have Nintendo. Um, oh, my thing crashed here. My tab. Oh no. Oh
Oh
no.
no,
Oh no. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
coming back.
Okay. So we get Kazuya on Smash, and I knew it was Kazuya as soon as I saw, someone walking towards a ravine with carrying a knocked out person. And I was like, oh, that's good. I mean, makes sense. Uh, Bandai Namco co-developed the game, right? So it would only make sense for Kazuya to be in it. Now it's a legit fighting game because now it has everyone. There's only missing like a Mortal Kombat character or whatever. Probably like put Sub Zero or something. Um, but yeah, I think we got one more character after this for the second DLC.
I believe so.
Yeah, I don't know if there's gonna be a third one, but yeah. So yeah, that was announced. Not a lot more to say there. There's going to be another showing on that. I think on the 26th of this month. Yeah, indeed, my tab broke. Give me one sec.
Oh no.
Not too excited.
It happens every now and then.
There we go. Joel, you're excited about Super Monkey Ball Banana
Oh my
Mania.
gosh, dude. I am hyped for this thing. I kind of feel bad that I bought um the Banana Blitz, like that I bought that one cuz it's like this has a lot in it like cuz a collection, right? But I don't regret it cuz you can't have enough Monkey Ball. I love Monkey Ball, dude. This is catered to me. Like this is one of those things that fans have been asking for. They've been saying like, please, like, give us more Monkey Ball, bring it back to the Switch. Let us have this experience again, especially for people, the younger generation coming in who've never played Monkey Ball. Like, let's bring up in front of them. It's a great, great, great franchise, in my humble opinion. And
Yeah,
they come in here and they drop this thing with like over 500 minigame, like crazy, crazy amount of stuff in this
like
collection.
all
There's,
these
there's
tracks. Yeah,
yeah, there's tons of stuff on this thing. So will I be buying it? Absolutely. October of this year. I'm so happy they're doing this. And it was trending. I don't know if you saw, like,
yeah.
I mean, and Nintendo took over like Twitter, like at that moment when once their thing went on, like Twitter was just buzzing with Nintendo stuff. But it
Yep.
was, I want to say it was at least like maybe number three, I think,
So
on trends at the time.
their
Super Monkey
the
Ball.
yeah their press conference was the most watched this year.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. Mario Party All Superstars. So basically, this is a compilation of different boards from a ton of the other
Yeah.
Mario Party games. They did. It's funny because how they when they revealed it, this they revealed it as like this is a controller and button Mario Party. Because a lot of people complained that there was too much Joy-Con stuff happening on the last one, and you couldn't play it on the Switch Lite. So
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
yeah, so I think they did this because it's like, yo, we kind of, we sort of need to damage control the Joy-Con thing and get people
Which
happy.
I
So
liked it because like it reminded me a little bit of like the Wii days. Like, you have your stuff where it's like, hey,
yeah,
shake the candies out of the bottle and throw the thing into the mouth of the animal or whatever, and swim down it's like there was like a lot of interactivity, but I totally get it because like it doesn't help them sell more copies when people have a bunch of Switch Lights and they're like, what are we gonna do? So makes sense.
yep, yep. My third runner-up Metroid Dread.
It's big.
Um, this was pretty exciting to me. Just to see a new 2D Metroid was good. I'm wondering if Mercury's team, that's the guys that did the Metroid 2 remake for 3DS, and they worked on the Lords of Shadow, the Castlevania Lords of Shadow games before that. I'm wondering if it's the same team. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't actually looked it up. But what they showed looked really really good. October 8th. The amiibos looked really nice too. Um, yeah, not much to say, man. It looked great.
Yeah.
Let's see, Cruising Blast. So this is basically a blast from the past. Remember
I
blast
do.
from the past. Yeah, remember the old cruising games.
Yep.
So
It's from the '90s, right?
yeah, yeah. So that was N64 stuff like Midway
Yeah.
published N64 or Midway developed. I think it was Midway developed and Nintendo published uh, arcade games, and the games came out for N64. So this one's based on the Raw Thrills arcade machine that's out. So yeah, a little good little racing game for the Switch. Looks fun. Uh, Joel, I'm and this is not to me. This is not a big one, right? But I know that there's a lot of people that really really love this WarioWare.
I
So
like it.
you like it?
I like
Yeah.
it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, not my cup of tea. I'm not into the whole micro game stuff, but
Yeah.
my daughter thought it was hilarious because she watched the reveal with me, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's WarioWare. Oh, it looks so funny. Oh, look at that. He farted. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's
it's
silly.
yeah, it's silly. Not for everyone, but if you're into the whole micro game thing, that's you know, it's pretty good, I guess. Shin Megami Tensei 5. So this was a big one because they announced this game a long time ago. I think that this game was announced like at the Switch reveal, if I'm not wrong. Um, and since then we've had three, four. We've had four Persona 5 games since then. And now we're getting Shin Megami Tensei. So
Mm.
Shin Megami Tensei is the base series, and then Persona is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei. That's how it started, but then Persona basically took over because the music and the characters. It's a lot more appealing that this you know hardcore, dark, edgy RPG. That being said, basically the game plays like Persona. It's like you gotta find out the weaknesses, exploit the weaknesses, get the combos, negotiate. You could negotiate on Persona. I think 3 and 4. You could negotiate. They brought it back on 5, but looks good. Like graphically, it looks very impressive. Like this, Joe, to me, this doesn't look like it's running on a regular Switch. If you ask me.
No. No, it doesn't.
If you ask me, this is running on something more than a regular Switch, and we'll talk about that later. Um, but look good. Look very very good. Of course, again, this is a hardcore RPG, 200-hour game. It's you know, the story is out there, and it has years of lore that are worth exploring because it's very interesting. So yeah, that's it's a big one right there. Danganronpa Decadence. So they're bringing these games out of the Vita and bringing them to the Switch. I think some of these got released on PS4, if I'm not wrong. I think the was it V3? No, Trigger Happy Havoc. No, that was Vita. Two. There was one that was on PS4. Is it Despair Girls or something like that? I can't remember. Anywho,
I can't remember. Yeah.
this is coming out for the Switch. It's a collection, so you get 4 games, all the Danganronpa games coming out on the Switch. The original one actually came out on PSP in Japan. It didn't make it over here. It came out on the Vita later. So these games are very popular. This is like I told you when I messaged you when the event was going on that this was the original Among Us. It's like figure out
Oh
who
yeah,
done it
yeah.
and who's the bad guy. So it's basically that. Except you're not playing with people. You're following the storyline. But Fatal Frame is back. Sort of. This is basically a port of Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater. Came out for the Wii U originally, and was one of the I think later Wii U games. Um, Not entirely sure if this game came over to the U.S. or if this was a Japan exclusive for the Wii U. Regardless, it's coming out for the Switch later this year. Um, Joel, they're reviving Advance Wars, so we're getting a 1-2 reboot camp. So basically, a remake of Advance Wars 1 and 2 that were originally released on the Game Boy Advanced. Did you ever get a chance to check this out?
No, I did not.
Okay, very popular. I know that I've heard a few people saying it's like, when are they bringing back Advance Wars? And Advance Wars would be cool. And well, there you go.
Here it is.
Yeah,
That's the one.
yeah, it looked fun. These games are like light tactic games, so they're not super intense, and they're supposed to be a lot of fun. Um, so look forward to that if you're into real time strategy or strategy games in general. They announced the basically the roadmap for the Age of Calamity DLC. Um, Looks interesting. I might check it out. So first piece is actually coming out tomorrow. Today, if you're listening on Friday. But it comes out just now, and then the second part's coming out in November. Um, I really want to see how much they really add before jumping in. I really had a good time with this game, so I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind checking it out for sure. This game was a lot more dense than I thought. This was a very content packed game. So um, taking a little break on that. So maybe I'll check it out later. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Joel, they did mention that this is the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, but my failed prediction said that we were going to get a Zelda collection. We did not get a Zelda collection. We are, however, getting a Game and Watch, sort of like the one we got for Mario
Same
last year.
same kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep. But this one includes 3 games. Um, so it's Zelda 1 and 2, the original Zelda 1 and 2 for the NES, and Link's Awakening, the Game Boy version of Link's Awakening. So great games, cool
Yeah.
to have on the a little pick up and play sort of thing. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the Mario one just had Mario, the first Mario, so I think this is definitely a better value overall, honestly. And yeah, it looks good with the green and the gold really pops out to me. It looks nice. And of course we got the big one. So we got a I guess additional footage slash gameplay reveal of the Breath of the Wild sequel. They did say and confirm that they do have a title for the game, but they don't want to release the title because
Spoiler.
it's a spoiler basically. So so that's fine. And cool, they're bringing back the Skyworld.
Yes.
So further reassuring that this game, basically connects a lot, or Breath of the Wild connects a lot with um, Skyward Sword. Breath of the Wild has a lot of the areas, a lot of like the shrines and the temples are basically direct representations of what you see in Skyward Sword. So this is basically like confirming that there's the pathways there from Skyward Sword to Breath of the Wild. I mean, of course, there's like Ocarina of Time references and all that. But I really like I thought they were actually gonna go underground instead of on the clouds show on this one.
It's like to the
But
skies.
yeah, based on the trailer, because the trailer was the well, based on the first trailer, which was them
Right.
exploring like an underground cavern and whatnot. So so I thought it was going to be like an underground thing, but no, it's the opposite. So they are taking it to the sky, and it looks like this is in addition to the entire map of Hyrule that was there from the original Breath of the Wild. So yeah, this game's probably gigantic because Breath of the Wild was pretty big. Definitely looking forward to this, Joel. This is probably my most anticipated game. It's not my game of the show because it was only a few seconds that they showed. They showed about a minute. It would have been my game of the show. It's probably going to be my game of the show next year when they show it. When they actually show.
I mean, it doesn't say like it can't be game of the year or game of the show because we only get a tease right now. But it has definitely has the potential to steal it come next year, especially with the whole anniversary coming up here. So it's gonna be huge
It's
for
got the
sure.
yeah got the potential to be game of the year for sure. Next year, if it comes out next year, I'm hoping it does. Honestly.
Yeah, all they say is 2022. That's all they're telling us. So
Yep.
when remains to be discovered.
Yeah. Also, this game is not running on a regular Switch.
Oh, oh.
That lighting, dude. That lighting is like Switch can't do that.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, man.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
Switch Pro.
No Switch Pro.
This was a huge, like, we were talking about it from our last episode. Like, it's imminent. A lot of reports from people who obviously they know stuff saying, look, it's only a matter of time that this thing's going to be revealed. Expect it to be revealed even before Nintendo goes up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, things change, and I think things did actually change very fast for them. I do think that they were ready to do it, and so I feel like they just looked overall at the scope of everything. And that's when they made that decision based on, hey, chip shortages and et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera. Let's hold off. But I do think that these reports were true. I do think that that was the plan to have the Switch Pro revealed during the weekend.
It's coming. It's just
It's a matter of time.
it's a matter of time.
It's not if, it's when.
Yeah, basically. I mean, what we could see something like what they did with when the new 3DS got announced. Remember that?
Yeah.
Basically, they came out, a month before. Hey, new 3DS coming out next month or whatever. They're pulling. They're probably gonna pull an Apple.
Hmm.
Basically, Apple's like comes up in September, shows you the new iPhone is gonna be available in 3 weeks. That's probably what they'll do. They'll probably come out and say, "Hey, a press release, a sizzle video, Super Switch or whatever they're gonna call it,
Right.
and it's gonna be available in like next month." So that's
Hmm.
probably what they'll do. Um, I don't think they're gonna waste time during E3 showing consoles. The Switch wasn't revealed at E3. They had
No.
like a special event. So
And the next
it's
iteration of the next iteration of the Switch should not hold back their current plans, and they didn't let that happen. They let their game speak during this E3 showcase. So, and they
yeah,
let that be the conversation of E3, what they have coming up from that standpoint. Let the hardware do its thing and have its own spotlight at a separate reveal.
yeah. Very interesting that Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out for the Switch, Joel,
I
because
know.
that game didn't look that it was running on a Switch either.
I was gonna say that if you play that on a regular Switch, it's gonna be drastically not looking the.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna have like those comparison videos where it's
Oh,
like
bro.
your PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and it's gonna be like,
I can't wait for the Digital
oh,
Foundry video on that, man,
oh my gosh,
because
that's
that's gonna
not
be
gonna be.
interesting.
It's not that the Guardians game looked like it's this heavy graphics heavy, I would say, but it definitely didn't look like anything that our Switch right now can handle.
Well, the thing is that if you look at best example I can give you is Mortal Kombat, right? Mortal Kombat
Oh
11.
yeah, that's
It's on
true.
the Switch. It's at 30 FPS. It's a fighting game.
Wow,
So that Guardians
that's
game
true.
did not look like it was going to run. Is running on a regular Switch. So that means, Joe, that the new Switch is probably coming out before Guardians. So when's Guardians? October 26th.
Yep.
It's probably gonna be sometime in October.
Hmm.
So
That'd be smart.
yeah, I think that'd be smart for sure. Because you release it before November, before the holidays, people are gonna be looking for it. Yeah, would make sense for them to do it that way.
Wow.
That was basically what stood out for us about E3
That's
this
right.
year. Forza, Joel, how do you feel about my game of the show?
I like it. I
Okay.
like it. I mean, it's fair to you. Like, it doesn't do it for me, not just because I'm not like, not since I was, a wee little man was I into playing my racing games. Ridge Racer has a special place in my heart. But
Ridge Racer.
yeah, man, I can still sing it. Um, but yeah, like, next generation, racing, Forza is just absolutely incredible. So I give it the respect it deserves for sure. It's just nice to see a Microsoft panel where Forza was not the best they had, like, arguably, like, it was, but it wasn't, right? Like, it was the best, but there was other things to be discussed, which is it's good, and in a positive light. I mean that. So
Yeah.
so I'm happy for them, and I'm happy for how that turned out. But no, it's fair. I mean, Guardians is like a safe bet, obviously. So, but yeah, Forza, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
step out there, man.
Yep. 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 Cool. Joe, let's go ahead and plug us in.
Absolutely, guys, gals. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you so much for watching today's show. We hope that you stick with us for our future episodes. Make sure you subscribe on podcast platforms: iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify. Check us out. Follow us on those platforms. No Load Time. Make sure you follow us on social media at No Load Time: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Also, make sure you subscribe to the video version on our YouTube channel. We'd love to get our YouTube numbers up. So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share it with others. That'd be awesome. Thank you. Put it on your social media pages. Share No Load Time wherever you can. You can always follow up with us. Questions, comments. Hey, you're like, you agree with something we said. You don't agree with something we said. You've got an interesting theory on something we said. We'd love to talk with you. This is a conversational podcast. We'd love to hear from you. So send an email to us, noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all again very much, and we look forward to being with you on our next episode.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.